Welcome back to my Mental Health and Crime channel. My name is Huda London. This is for educational purpose only. This is the case of the Idaho quadruples that took place on the 13th of November 2022. May the 4 victims rest in peace. Condolence to the families, and may the correct justice be served. This is, you can say, the new timeline. The timeline after they arrested Brian Christopher Koberger, because previously they said that the crimes happened between 3 to 4 a.m. We have the coroner who said that she believes she pronounced them unalived after 2 a.m. So if anyone who has forensic knowledge and experience could answer this question. If these students were victims were unalived after 2, just say 2:15, and just say, would that show the time, the exact time they were unalived, or is there like a couple of hours in between? Would they say, like, if the coroner said after 2 a.m., could that be 4:17 like they're saying? I hope my question makes sense. The part I have difficulties really believing, and that baffles my mind for the last 16 months into this case, 17 months. It says 9:21 a.m. Brian Koberger's phone connects to the area of his home in Pullman, Washington. But 9:12 a.m., pay attention to Brian Koberger connects to cellular network in Moscow, Idaho, near the scene of the unalivings. This is the one I can't get over. So for people who say that Brian Christopher Koberger is completely innocent, I would love them to explain to me what he was doing near the house. Because I remember this case on the beginning. The police said the affidavit, 9:21 a.m. he comes back to Washington Pullman. But before that, he actually goes at 9:12, and he was there like for 10-15 minutes to the crime scene. So did he come to collect his knife sheet? Was he part of these crimes that he's been accused of? Was it something else? Why would he come back to the crime scene? There are questions that need to be answered with Brian Christopher Koberger, because as a mental health counselor, I'm trying not to judge Mr. Koberger. But I always wonder if he has mental health illnesses, any kind of mental health illnesses, like personality disorders, like antisocial personality disorder. The reason I ask that is those are common mental health illness that comes after addiction for 5 years, like he was in. And he was using A-class drugs. So I always keep that in my mind. And let's not forget, he was and is a smart man, a criminology, crime and justice student, so he would know more than any of us could know. He was one of the top students. He always had his hand raised to answer the questions. Let's not forget that Brian could have been struggling with his professor and students complaining that he was strict with the grades. So if he was having his personal problems, and just say if you knew somebody in 1122 Kings Road, like one of the victims, just say like Maddie or Kaylee, or even one of the surviving roommates. Just say it wasn't anything romantic. Say it was about drugs, because the cab driver said that this place, 1122 Kings Road, he's drove many people to buy rugs from the house. So whoever was dealing with rugs, someone was dealing with rugs. And we have here a man who's a previous user. It's like 2 plus 2. You don't need to even go far. This house has been talked a lot about being a party venue. I really respect the 4 victims, and I'm not saying that they were dealing with rugs. It could have been even the surviving roommates. It could have been the neighbors. It could have been somebody. This house was known for a party house. Could it be possible that the victims are actually not dealing with anything, but that they were going to snitch on them? Something was told to Adam. And what do you think about the new timeline? I really don't buy into the new timeline. I really believe something happened to the students between 3 to 4. And I believe something happened to Zana and E between 2 to 2:35. And the other 2 victims, Maddie and Katie, something happened to them when they came home. Anyone could have seen through the house, through the kitchen, the sliding door, if it was always open. Anyone could have come in through there. I really believe this house was bugged. There was bugs, there was cameras in this house. People were actually watching, I believe, these victims. Maybe that's the reason they demolished the house. It could be possible. There's something in the house that the prosecutor, the university, the chief of Idaho4 want gone. It had to be someone who knew the inside of this house, who knew the victims and the surviving roommates well enough to have taken the chance to come into this house. I don't believe it's a random stranger, but I believe Brian Christopher Koberger's involved somehow or the other. Why would he have come back at 9:12 to the crime scene? The knife sheet I can understand, because that is such DNA. It could have come from anywhere. But why would his phone ping near the crime scene, near 1122 Kings Road, 2 hours before 911 was called, at 9:12? I find that to be strange. Here we have the knife sheet. It was found next to Maddie Morgan's right side on the bed. That's when viewed from the door. The sheet was later processed and had Kabar or K-Bar, USMC, and the United States Marine Corps Eagle Globe and Anchor insignia stamped on the outside of it. The Idaho State Lab later located a single source of male DNA, suspect profile, left on the button snap of the knife sheet. So that's how they traced it to Brian Christopher Koberger's father when they took things out of the trash, and then later on to Brian. I believe they made this second timeline. They changed the timeline when they arrested Brian Christopher Kohlberger. I believe that's when the affidavit came out, because DM is not supposed to be a witness. She was just there. She's just a surviving roommate. That's according to Chief Fry. So what's up? When did she become a witness? She was sleeping on the first floor. But then later it was said she was sleeping on the second floor and she saw the suspect once with the mask, bushy eyebrows, athletic build, 5'11" or 5'10". The description has no similarities with Brian Christopher Kohlberger. Quite strange.
My name is Chris. I'm one of the pastors here, and I'm going to be reading two different letters, one from Dylan and one from Bethany. This is from Dylan Mortensen. To Xana and Ethan, the two best friends but perfect pair together. They had this unstoppable, loving relationship. They both would look at each other with so much love. Everyone knew they were the perfect duo. They both had this fun, passionate, crazy, but good energy. They both were the kind of people who cared about everyone and would help anyone. Xana was the life of the party. If she was there, it was going to be great. But Xana was so much more than a girl who could just have fun. She was strong, intelligent, hardworking, and a beautiful person. Xana was taking this math class, a class I was also taking, and the amount of effort and hard work she put into that class was the only reason I tried to pass it. She would constantly uplift me and tell me I could do it. Xana was also a very big people person. She could make a conversation with anyone, any friend and any parent. She loved the parents, especially the moms. Every tailgate, she would talk to a new mom, get their phone number, and text them. Everyone that got the chance to know her loved her. I was and am so lucky to have experienced a life with her, as her being one of my closest friends. I didn't know Ethan until this semester. I wish I would have gotten to know him more. He was so sweet and loving to Xana. Xana was like his whole world, and you could see it in him. While Ethan was like a friend, he was also like an older brother to me. I got to experience what an older brother would be like. He was this goofy guy who I could make sarcastic jokes to. Every time I saw him, he'd give the sarcastic jokes right back. He was also loving to my friends and to me. He cared like Xana about everyone. He was easygoing and easy to talk to. I'm glad I got the time I had to know Ethan, and I'm so thankful to have gotten to know such an amazing person. Xana about everyone. He was easygoing and easy to talk to. I'm glad I got the time I had to know Ethan, and I'm so thankful to have gotten to know such an amazing person. I know somewhere Xana and Ethan are together keeping each other company, watching us and telling us it's okay and that we have each other. Maddie and Kaylee, the inseparable duo. The two best friends that were like sisters. Maddie and Kaylee were like second moms to me. They taught me a lot on how to be a responsible adult, but also how to live life happy. They changed the way I look at life and how to enjoy life to the fullest. Maddie was the cute ray of sunshine. She didn't ever have a negative thought in her mind. I don't think I ever have seen Maddie stressed about anything. This happy-go-lucky kind of girl who loved life to the fullest. I got to know Maddie last year and loved her when I met her. And then I got the chance to get closer with her this year. I'm so lucky to have gotten to experience life with her in it. She had this passionate love for everyone. Everyone who knew her got to feel her love. She was so compassionate to everyone and wanted everyone to be happy. She got this new hot pink puffy jacket and wore it everywhere. She was a very big pink color kind of girl. She would do this cute little skipping dance every time I saw her. She just had these cute little mannerisms that I loved. She was such a beautiful person inside and out. She had pretty much her whole life together. I missed seeing her little dances when we would go out and seeing her laugh and smile. I loved seeing her smile because when she would smile, you could see her eyes and her little button nose smile too.
DM gave us actually an insight, a bit insight of what the three girls and Ethan were like. Maddie seemed to be a person who seemed to be very organized, very bubbly. She loved the color pink. We've heard that a lot. And she's going to speak about Kaylee last, but she spoke about Xana. She said Maddie was like her older sister. To her, that's Dylan Mortensen saying that DM. And obviously that she misses a lot. You never know. We all are sitting and assuming. There could be a possibility that the surviving roommates were scared for their life. And they were warned not to talk. Maybe BK came to clean the crime scene. Maybe a hitman was sent to them, allegedly. Just guessing. But according to DM, Maddie was very organized. DM seemed to really speak highly of Xana as a friend, lively, happy person, always there, always has a smile. She had a lot of friends. That's interesting. I've always thought of that, a lot of friends. That could be good and that could be bad. Even when the girls are imitating each other in that TikTok clip 2 weeks before they died, were unlived. If you remember, DM was acting like she was imitating Xana. And she said, is it all right if I invite just a small party, a small gathering, not more than 4 people? And I always question, was there a gathering that night? I don't think the Sigma Chi fraternity boys like Xana's attitude. I think Xana was a very lively, happy person, but I believe Xana stood up for justice. She stood up for her friends. And I think that annoyed David Lodge and David B. And the fact that she was with E. David had liked Xana, it was said allegedly. That could be crime of passion. Not only Jack D and Kaylee leaving him, it could have been David Lodge. There was a fight with David Lodge, David B against Xana and E at the Sigma Chi that night. I love this picture. It's a beautiful picture. May they all rest in peace. Xana was always smiling. Xana was always happy. All of them seemed to be lively young people. Pay attention to the background. Anyone could have hid in the forest. It was winter. Pitch black at night, you can imagine. Jack D can't see Kaylee's balcony. That's here. That's where Xana is standing. But if he stands on his roof, he can see the balcony. Suddenly, Jack D, there's so many other culprits. I would have focused on the people on the walking on foot more than cars. I've always said that from the beginning. Vehicles are important too, because it's not like it's a big town, so all the movements are important. But once you get the timeline wrong, everything automatically turns wrong. So is it the surviving roommates that are lying? Or is it Idaho police and the FBI that changed the timelines? Was Brian Christopher Kohlberger involved? Like accessory to unaliving someone? Like the second person or third person? Was he called to clean the scene? How did his knife sheath end up there? I think at 9:12 a.m. in the morning, when his phone or his car pinged in this area, right near the crime scene. I think it's behind Xana. There's a road there. I wonder what he was doing around here. So this was one of the last pictures Kaylee and Maddie took. You can see them standing and talking to Jack D. That is definitely Jack D with his white trainers. If you look on the right hand side, you have Adam sitting there, and you have Jack Showalter, and the elderly man who looks like Chief Fry, but it's not him. You can see many other legs there. So there are a couple of people on the bar, standing near the bar stand. Maddie seems to be the one talking. Jack D is watching Maddie. Adam seems to be looking at the guy he seems to be talking to. I think they're trying to find out what's happening. How much do these girls know? Or they're giving the green light. Showalter's there too. I hate when people say that Jack Showalter was innocent, he was just escorting the girls. Why would he drive to Boise? Maybe he went to Kenya or South Africa like it was said. We don't know where he is now. know they're going to get you, Maddie, is what Jack Showalter said to Maddie. And a couple of hours later, Maddie, Kaylee, Xana, and E are all unalived in the most horrific manner. Jack Showalter, who was going to come and get them? We are going to get you, Maddie, or they're going to get you, Maddie. So who is they or we? Did you take a DNA? Did you have a police integration? Where was Jack Showalter? Why was he ruled out so soon? Even Steve Gonsalves didn't like the fact. He was indirectly talking about Jack Showalter, that he was ruled out too quickly. Why was Jack D ruled out the loss? Why did he have so many injuries? So now we're going to listen to what BF had to write, or a speech for the memorial for the 4 victims, her 3 roommates and E. I wonder if she was actually home that night. Where was BF? Was she the person who left the front door open? 2 a.m. a young woman was seen running hysterically out. That's what the tripod recorded. From behind the sliding door to the front of the house. Was that BF? Does BF have exonerate? Does she have exculpatory evidence? Could she be the one who will exonerate Mr. Koberger and tell the truth of exactly what happened? Was he involved? Did she borrow his knife? Did they plant the knife sheet? Allegedly. Just questions, not accusing anyone of anything. Why did it take 8 hours to 9 hours for BF to call 911? Why did they call Hunter Johnson first? Where was Emily, Hunter Johnson's girlfriend, that night? BF was in the party at the Sigma Chi. What did she witness? Was there a fight? Is she scared of the Davids? Is she scared to talk? Was she the one who was seen running out of the house? I personally believe it was her. DM was the one driving the black truck. They passed in front of Taylor Avenue at 3 a.m. at night exactly. Now let's listen to what BF has to say for the 4 victims. This was, I believe, 2.5 weeks after the quadruples.
And this is from Bethany. Maddie, Kaylee, Xana, and Ethan were truly all one of a kind. They all lit up any room they walked into and were gifts to this world. I wish every day that I could give them all one last hug and say how much I loved them. I've thought a lot about what I would say to each of them if I could. Kaylee, you were truly one of the funniest people I've ever known. No matter what you said or what story you were telling, you found a way to make it so funny and have us all laughing. You were so sweet and giving. I was always so impressed by how you knew what you wanted and you would go after it and nothing would stop you. You always lit up a room with your big smile and big personality that was so lovable and enjoyable, and I will love and miss you forever. Ethan, you had the brightest, most fun personality. It was amazing how you could walk into a room and the whole vibe of the room would go up and everyone was just instantly happier. You always had the biggest smile on your face. Your smile and your laugh were so contagious and made everyone want to be around you at all times because you were just such a good time and such a fun, happy person. You had so much love in your heart for everyone, but it especially shined in your relationship with Xana. The way you loved her was truly admirable and so special. It made people believe in true love. I love and miss you so much, Ethan. Xana, there was no one out there like you. When I think of you, I think of a loving, fun, energetic, funny, passionate, determined, sweet person. I was always so impressed by you. Every single day, without a doubt, you tried to better yourself and were so determined to accomplish all of the goals that you'd set for yourself. When someone mentions the life of the party, everyone thinks of you. You had the most charismatic personality and always made everyone smile. Anyone who ever met you instantly wanted to be friends with you and always wanted to be around you. You always made anything that we did so much fun and memorable. Not only did all the kids love you, but so did all of the parents. You always had all of the moms' phone numbers because they all just loved you so much, even after only meeting you for a short time. There really wasn't one person that didn't love you and your amazing personality. I love you so much and miss you like crazy. And Maddie, I don't even know where to begin. You were the sweetest and most loving person I've ever known. You had so much love in your heart for so many people. You're not only one of my best friends, but you're the older sister that I'd always wanted. No matter what, you always made me feel so loved and special. You always made sure to include me in everything. I was so beyond happy and proud that you were my big. I would introduce you to everyone and anyone, telling them that you were my big. I would even introduce you multiple times to one person in the same night. I always looked up to you so much. You were always so organized, determined, and had your priorities straight, and you always gave me the best advice. And no matter what, you would always help me and were always willing to help. I really believe that you would have been so successful and would have accomplished all of your goals in life because that's just who you were. Thank you for making my life so fun and enjoyable with all of the memories and adventures that we had. Thank you for being a ray of sunshine. Thank you for always being there for me no matter what and always having my back. Thank you for always finding a way to make me smile or laugh and for making my life better just by being your friend. You always told me that everything happens for a reason, but I'm having a really hard time trying to understand the reason for this. Maddie, I truly don't know what I'm supposed to do without you. You honestly made my life so much better. I just want you to know that I will always love you and miss you forever. You all were gifts to this world in your own special way, and it just won't be the same without you. I love you all so much and miss you all so much. You will never be forgotten and will forever be in all of our hearts. As we just consider the memories that have been shared, the stories that have been shared, and consider these amazing people, we wanted to share a special song with you that reflects some of the pain and some of the hope that we can find. And so we're going to listen to this song by a band called Casting Crowns called No Scars in Heaven. And I would just encourage you in this time to make yourself to reflect on their lives and what they meant to you. So
it seemed like Bethany Funk was really close to Maddie and Xana. DM was kind of close to all three of them, but she said she moved in later and she got to know E and the others later. So I don't think DM knew them all well, but she knew them a bit, and she seemed to obviously miss them. But I felt a bit sad when I heard BF's letter, especially when she spoke about Maddie. Both BF and DM have said that Maddie was very organized. She would have gone far in her life. So I wonder, did someone put a roofie in Maddie's drink? Kaylee seemed to be more refreshed that night than Maddie. Maddie was really intoxicated and number 9 was up to no good. And I still believe that Kaylee had a stalker. I believe these students, everything that was debunked could actually be true. I wonder if they were gagged. Something happened in the house that night. So that was really terrible. Really horrific, like the coroner said. That's why I believe the coroner was there just for a short stay. But I believe they removed the bodies way before the vandals alert was put up. Definitely. Somewhere between 11 to 1 or 2. Something's not right with this whole story. And he is really tall. He's 6'4". I don't believe it's one person who did this. They wouldn't have had the energy. Unless it was Brent Kopacker. That's what I personally believe. It has to be someone who was very skilled, like a hitman. But the 4 figures were definitely involved. I believe there were many people involved. 3 organizations, whether it's Sigma Chi and maybe a rogue organization, maybe something else. But I believe there's 3 organizations or 3 different people because of the 3 unidentified male DNAs. Rest in peace, Xana, E, Maddie, and Kaylee. It was actually so calm and peaceful to hear Bethany Funk and DM's letters, even if they're not being truthful. All the things they said about the 4 victims sounded so beautiful and blessed. Because I'm fed up of YouTube creators reading the bad stuff of the 4chan, which I would have never done. There's certain places you read in the 4chan, but the YouTube creator knows it's wrong because this ain't terror reading. This is about people's life. So I'm glad that they said good things. Like Maddie was well organized. She planned things well. She was very sweet and kind. She loved the color pink. She had no siblings. We've already learned so much about the 4 victims. Feel so sorry for all their parents, but especially Maddie. Imagine having only 1 child. Please like, share.